my name is Sydney, and I'm about to do my Disney College Program Fall 2025 interview. And this is actually not my first rodeo. I did a Fall 2024 interview last year and was placed as a PhotoPass photographer in Epcot. Had a great first program, ended up breaking my ankle, having to end my program, but now I can come back. This is the first interview of the Fall 2025 season. I have the first time slot. I submitted my application within 5 minutes of them putting up the job posting. So I wanted to get the real inside scoop of exactly what's happening in the interviews this year, how they've been different from years in the past. For the last interview, I didn't really know what to do other than watch videos like this on YouTube. Super helpful. Highly recommend deep diving on all the creators, how their interviews went, getting an overall vibe for it. But honestly, last year, I had an interview I wasn't expecting. And so for this time around, I feel a lot more prepared, especially because I have done a college program before. So all of my STAR method answers have to do with my time in PhotoPass, which is really lucky. Top role will be the same top role when I'm 6 years old, 60 years old. I want to be a Tower of Terror bellhop at the Hollywood Tower Hotel. I've always wanted to be a Tower of Terror bellhop, and as a wise man once said, I may only be in it for the outfits. You remember last time we were like really nervous, and that was like the vibe going into it. Put in montage of us last time absolutely losing our minds.
If they ask my favorite joke, I'm gonna have to tell them on the phone. What's the difference between and a brief? No, but put me in the British pavilion, please. I have experience with British men. I keep scissors at my DCP table.
But honestly, going into this interview, it's hard for me to have that same level of excitement that I had last time. Like, I need to go into it like, hi, this is Sydney. Oh, I'm going to, though. That's the bad thing is you that little chip in your brain that Mickey implants during traditions, it sticks around. You be at the grocery store being like, hi, friends, let's move out of the way. You have to become one with Mickey Mouse. Like, you have to mind meld. I'm gonna just blub, blub, blub at the camera. Blub, blub, blub. Blub, blub, blub. Blub, blub, blub. Billy Bob. All right, 10 minutes till. What am I feeling right now? Honestly nervous, and I'm someone that's done this program before, so I understand what you're feeling right now watching this video, but at some point you just can't prep anymore. You know what you want? You're gonna get it. I already see myself. I already see what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be working attraction. I'm gonna be at Tower of Terror. I'm gonna be. I can't say that, but I can feel it. I can internalize it. Blah, blah, blah. I'd just like to say last year, this interview actually changed my life. I've met so many cool people. I have a whole different friend group. Every night I'm hanging out with people I love, and it's kind of cool that the Disney College Program really brought me that. Like, it's a really cool job. Yes, it's better than most jobs you can get in your hometown, but it's also a really cool opportunity to, in your adult life, meet other people. I feel like the older you get, the less of an opportunity you get to actually interact with people with similar interests as you. And the cool thing about Disney is there's always something. And for me, this is almost nostalgic going into this interview because I'm like, I know how much it brought me last time. That's pretty freaking awesome. Also, like, it is a huge resume booster. Huge. I've gotten so many job offers and opportunities that I never thought I would because of Disney. And maybe not at Disney, but every time I'm at a job interview, people are like, Disney. Thomas and I both got flight attendant interviews, and we can tell both of them we got picked because of Disney. That's why I need to go into this interview, guns blazing. I want to ask for what I want, you know? 5 minutes. I'm actually like, I'm so excited. It's bad that I'm excited to answer the phone. I'm like, just call me. 3 minutes, 2 minutes. Whoop, whoop. It's so weird that this is one of the only interviews I still get the jitters, man. Hello. Bro, that was a slaughter. That was a slaughter. Do you see the stress rash I have? She's unemployed with a big forehead, but she ate. Now that the interview is over, I quickly wrote down all the questions that I remember my recruiter asking me. They asked me not to record the interview, and of course, I want this job, and I know Mickey Mouse knows everything, so I did not record this interview, but I did write down what I remember the recruiter asking me, So they started the interview as they started the interview last year for me, asking basic housekeeping questions of where did you graduate college? When did you graduate college? Are you still in college? Do you have a valid US driver's license? Are you an international student? All the questions that are really objective, easy to say. And then they dove into questions about roommates. And she explained during the Disney College program, you have the opportunity to live at Flamingo, and asked if I ever lived with roommates and if I ever lived with roommates that I am not related to. And then she said, tell me about a time that you had a conflict with a roommate. And then she jumped into why Disney? Why do you want to do another program? Why Disney specifically? And this is a question that I prepped heavily for, a question you should definitely prep for. Every one of my friends who has ever done a Disney College program interview has been asked why the Disney College program. And it should be more than just, I love Disney. You know, it's your opportunity to really sell yourself and tell them why you would be a good fit for Disney, what you can bring to the company. And so for this, I gave a really well-rounded answer of my past, where I came from, my motivations for first applying to a program, and specifically my motivations for coming back again. After that, she asked me specifically what I'm hoping to gain from doing a second program, because I did have my first program. And then I was asked what role specifically I could see myself doing and why. Because I mentioned that attractions was my top role choice, I was then asked a question of something along the lines of, tell me about a time when you were in a stressful situation and you had to prioritize safety. And then for the rest of the interview, she basically would bring up a role, describe the key functions of the role, and then ask a question about it. So for character, it's performer. Since I mentioned on my application I was interested in that, she just asked me like, oh, which audition were you planning to attend? The next question she asked was my past experience with public speaking and spieling, memorization, things in that realm. And this was really an opportunity to tie my past experience into what I want to get, attractions. And I want to get a spiel-heavy attraction. So I was able to talk about my past mic skills and talking in front of large crowds of people and performing and yada, yada, yada. And then she brought up merchandise and said, do I have any cash handling experience? And then she broke up the interview by saying, what's your favorite Disney snack? And I thought that was interesting because it's framed as a food and beverage question, but I were to guess it's a concierge question. So have in the back of your mind your favorite things about Disney. My favorite snack for those watching, if you haven't had the mac and cheese at Regal Eagle, life-changing. And then she asked if I had any previous food handling experience, and then moved on to saying, I noticed you said you want to be a concierge. Why would you be a good concierge? And I had prepped for that question. So my prep for this interview is I had this sheet here, which had my top 3 roles. And for each of them, I mentioned why I wanted to get the role, but as well as the things that would make me good at the role. So for like attractions, I said I had like a big storytelling background and safety experience. And for concierge, I have like extensive product knowledge, and I am a creative problem solver, and I know how to use my resources. So when she asked me like, what would make you a good concierge? I had a good answer. And I got asked the same question this year as I got asked last year, so you should prep for this question if you want to be a concierge. If a family came up to you and is asking for a unique dining experience, what would you suggest to them? So she asked about my past cleaning experiences, especially in my last role, and then asked, what is my understanding of the character attendant role? What do I think the key job responsibilities are? I was asked just a blanket, thinking about all the roles, would you be able to do them with or without reasonable accommodations? And if I had any questions for her. Know your 5 keys. Know what safety means. And know what safety means in regards to like, it's not a giant emergency. Safety isn't all about, I saved someone from dying. I stopped a car crash. It can be, I noticed a mat was flipped up and I pushed it down. Safety is about awareness and awareness for others, and always just keeping your eyes open and having the bravery to speak up when something isn't safe. Courtesy is super important for Disney, but it kind of comes naturally, I think, to most people. If you come in with a positive attitude and you're able to answer questions with, in the back of your mind, you're providing exceptional customer service, going above and beyond for every person, cast members and guests, super important. Show, knowing that keeping an area clean is important. Knowing the guidelines for Disney look also are really important, even though it's a phone interview. Just being aware of what is allowed and what's not. Inclusivity, being sure to include in your answers a wide diversity of situations and people. Efficiency, again, there's something about Disney and having that personal touch, but also having the awareness to keep a line moving, I think is really important. So my top advice to you is knowing those 5 words: safety, inclusivity, courtesy, show, and efficiency, and being able to incorporate them into your answers. Whether or not you say that exact word, know that's what they're looking for. My interviewer literally told me that's what she's looking for. In addition to that, knowing what each of the roles are, go down that list of 20 roles you could possibly have and read the job responsibilities and the descriptions. If you worked at Disney, you know what a bell dispatcher does. But if you haven't, look into it. It's really important. Character attendant, also something to think about. That's a highly safety critical role in some ways. Even though you're not going to get drug tested upon arrival, it's important that you talk about your awareness to stop problems before they happen. My advice for you, this is a great time to have an introspective look at yourself. Be like, what am I really good at? Am I someone who's hyper aware? Am I a performer? Am I good with making bad days good? Am I good at spotting problems before they happen? And honestly, although like you might have roles that you really want to do, if you know what you're good at and you express that to the recruiter, you'll be placed in a role that you'll thrive in. I don't know if the recruiter actually has any like pull on what role you get, or if it's just like they spin a wheel and you get food and bev. But also, if you want the company to give you a certain role, sell why you would be good in that role. Sell it and sell why you'd be good in that role, even when you're talking about a different role. You know, if you're talking about food and bev, talk about teamwork. Talk about how you're making it an engaging experience for your guests. Because even though you're talking about food and bev, they're not thinking about you for character attendant or attractions. Put in their mind where you see fit. Honestly, it was a great interview. I had a great time. I would do that again because I had so much fun doing it. She was so nice. I don't know if you have other interview experience, but Disney recruiters are so kind. They'll make you feel good about yourself. You'll leave that interview being like, yeah, I can do that job. Yeah. Remember in the interview to write down their name so you're able to actually thank them for their time at the end of it. Remember to smile. These recruiters want to give you this job. They really do. You got a phone interview because they want to hire you. Even though people on YouTube can be a bit pessimistic and be like, no matter what, you're going to get a role you don't like. Don't always listen to them. Go in, put your best foot forward, really sell yourself, and tell them what you would bring to the Disney College program. I hope that helps. Thank you so much for watching. I'll hopefully be making content throughout the DCP. I forgot to do it last time. I was having too much fun. Honestly, if you're watching this video and you've never done a Disney College program, I am so excited for you. I've had a lot of cool experiences in my life, and nothing will compare to the experience I've had in the Disney College program. You get stories and you get friendships that last a lifetime. I'm so grateful for everything the Disney company has brought me and for the people I've met living in Orlando, and I'm excited to do it again. Run it back. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe, like, share with your friends. Put me on Yik Yak, please don't. People still scare me. See you around.